Hey art fans, thanks so much for tuning in. Butch Hartman here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you guys want to get a commission done by me, click the link down below, doing drawings for you. Also, get my brand new book, Mad Hustle, all about how to pitch and sell shows in Hollywood. Click the link down below. Okay, question for you. Does Danny Phantom have a brother? Let's get into it. All right, Danny Phantom. Let's go over the cast list. We have Danny, Sam, Tucker, Jazz, Jack Fenton, Maddie Fenton, Mr. Lancer, Valerie, a host of ghost villains, but I didn't really name any other family members. All we have is Dad, Mom, Danny, and Jazz. Was there another Fenton sibling? Let's just call this a Phantom fantasy, shall we? Fantasy spelled with a PH. See what I did there? All right, let's go into this. What if Danny Phantom had an older brother? Danny is 2 years old. Jazz is 4 years old. She's a couple years older than him. Jack and Maddie have another son. That's right, they have another son. The son's name is Flynn Fenton. Flynn Fenton is 10 years old at this time, a little bit older than Jazz. Flynn was secretly kidnapped and taken into the ghost zone when Danny was just a very young boy. Now, Jack and Maddie have never mentioned this because they feel as though it's their fault. Why? Because they've been experimenting with ghost portals since college. One accident resulted in Vlad Plasmius getting his powers and turning him into an evil villain. That was bad enough. They probably kept exploring and experimenting with the ghost portal technology, finally getting one to work, and I'll bet they got it to work. Maybe they shut it down for the night. Their son Flynn, who was the oldest, wanted to see how it worked. So he went down there to the ghost portal, the newly installed ghost portal in the Fenton lab, an early version of the Fenton lab. Probably hit the button the same way Danny would do years later. Flynn hit the button, the ghost portal came on, and guess what? Nothing happened to Flynn right away. Flynn was standing there looking at it. It was just shimmering and glowing, the entrance to the ghost portal. A whole new world of possibilities, standing there, looking at it. What could be in that place? What could be in there? Flynn didn't want to go in. He knew it was probably unknown and wanted his parents to go in with him. But Flynn's an adventurer, wanted to look, maybe got a little bit closer to it, a little bit closer. And finally, right when he decides not to go in, he turns around, something reaches out and grabs him and pulls him into the ghost zone. Now, the next day, Jack and Maddie would realize, to their horror, that their oldest son, Flynn, is gone. They might see some traces of ectoplasm inside the now maybe shut down and dormant Fenton portal. Maybe the portal shut off after Flynn was taken. They probably run the security footage back, and they can even look and see that Flynn was taken by something or someone into the ghost zone. They probably tried experimenting, getting the portal to work again, but they just couldn't get it to work. They couldn't make it happen. So they spent years trying to open that portal up again. Danny was so young, he probably has no memory of his older brother. Jazz, though, being 4 years old, probably has flashes and has bits of things she remembers about an older brother, an older sibling in the house. Maybe this story starts with Jazz having a dream of some kind. Maybe she's having a dream where she's in the ghost zone, floating around, exploring. We see some familiar ghosts like Skulker and Technus and maybe even some other ghosts that we've seen in the show before, just kind of floating past her. She's enjoying the ghost zone, she's exploring it, she's in control, and suddenly something grabs her on the shoulder. She turns around and it's a familiar face. It's the face of someone she could swear she's related to. The person says, "Help me," and then she wakes up from the dream. So then she starts asking her parents, "Did we ever have an older brother?" And they're eating breakfast, they spit their food out. They've never told the kids about this older brother named Flynn because they're so ashamed that this boy was lost on their watch. And they've been spending all this time with the ghost zone portal trying to get it to work again, to try and get back in the ghost zone to find their long lost son. So now that Jazz has cracked open the mystery of the fact that there was another Fenton sibling, she gets her parents to admit that they did have a brother, but something happened to him. And Jazz wakes her parents up out of their denial. Not that they're denying because they're bad. They've been trying to find Flynn because they're good people. They want to find him. They just didn't know how to bring the subject up. They didn't want to terrify their other kids who are still there. They've been holding on to Danny and Jazz and protecting them. But now it's time, because Jazz knows Danny's got ghost powers. I'm a ghost fighter myself now. We have all this technology. We have experience in the ghost zone. Let's go get our older brother back. Now let's go into Flynn's story. So what happened to Flynn when he got abducted, when he got taken into the ghost zone? Who abducted him? Here's the story. Remember the Ghost King, Pariah Dark? Well, Pariah Dark was put into a sleep in the sarcophagus of forever sleep, right? Who put him in there? Who led the revolt against the Ghost King to put him in the sarcophagus of forever sleep in the first place? I'll tell you who it was. It's a ghost. A warrior ghost, a ghost of great power, but a ghost who wanted justice and a ghost who wanted peace in the ghost zone, who didn't like the way Pariah Dark was running things. This ghost's name is Misery Vex. Misery Vex is a female ghost who, like a Norse goddess, like Thor's sister Hela. She's very amazing looking, but she's a real intense, I'm not gonna say evil, but just an intense ghost. And I think when Pariah Dark went into the sarcophagus of forever sleep, things didn't go as planned. She thought there would be peace throughout the ghost zone, that the populace of the ghost zone would rejoice over the fact the king was now asleep and gone out of their lives. But no, the exact opposite happened. The ghost zone became a lawless place. It became a place of great sorrow and misery and just great chaos. And now this chaos had to be brought back into control because Misery Vex, who wanted to rule, can't rule because the ghost zone is going nuts. So she's got to figure a way to stop this. But what better way to do it than one night she's traveling through the ghost zone, trying to keep things in order, trying to stop wars and battles where she can with her small army of loyal ghost servants. When she sees a light, and she looks and sees the light, and the light opens, and there's a young boy standing there. And she realizes that this is a portal to the human world. And she sees Flynn standing there. So she takes Flynn, right? He's pure, he's untouched. She takes him, and she decides she's going to raise him to be her new champion in the ghost zone to bring order. And why? Because she knows humans in the ghost zone have powers that the ghosts don't have. Just like ghosts in our world can go through walls, and they have extra strength and all these powers they can have in our physical world, in the ghost zone, the humans have powers the ghosts don't have. They can do the same things in the ghost world that the ghosts can do in the human world. But she raises Flynn to become this human sentinel in the ghost world. I can just imagine like an Ant-Man, where the Wasp's mother was trapped for 30 years in the quantum realm. She sort of got these powers where she became kind of one with the quantum realm. She could do things that she could normally do, but she'd been in the quantum realm so long that she had extra abilities. Same goes with Flynn being in the ghost zone this long, a human being living in the ghost zone and being subjected to its forces and its wavelengths and things like that for all these years. He's probably taken on some properties of the ghost zone. Who knows what he can do? Not just ghost stuff, but human ghost stuff combined. His powers must be incredible. And his name would be Exodus, because he fights with chains and he's the breaker of chains. Because Exodus means, like, you know, he's freeing people. People are getting set free. But unlike Misery Vex's version of freedom, where it was just massive chaos, he brings order to the freedom. He's sort of the enforcer of freedom, meaning he's sort of the ultimate cop. He's the attorney general of the ghost zone. So he keeps the order, he keeps the balance in the ghost zone. So when the Fentons go in there to get him, I don't even know if he has a memory of them. Maybe he has no memory of them, maybe he has some memory of them. Maybe it's like the Winter Soldier, where he's become so focused and he's been just so completely taken over by what he has to do, he completely forgets about who his family is. And Danny, just like Captain America with Bucky, he has to convince him of the fact that he's his brother. I would imagine there's an epic battle between Danny and Exodus, and Danny has to convince Exodus right before Exodus is about to deliver some sort of maybe a massive killing blow that Danny's really his brother. And then maybe Exodus comes to his senses and realizes who he is and what he's done and what he used to be. And then the Fentons offer him a chance to go back to the human world and be their son again. But he can say something like, I'm still your son, but I have to stay here because this is who I am now. I need to be here to bring order to this place. And so Danny has an ally in the ghost zone. It's his brother Exodus. And I really like that, because it's like Speed Racer's secret brother Rex Racer, who's now Racer X. Now Danny has a secret brother, Exodus. Basically just this warrior until he's brought back to reality by Danny Phantom's love for his only brother that he never knew that he had. What do you guys think of that story? Let me know down in the comment section. I would love to keep expanding on this Danny Phantom universe. What other stories do you think I should tell? We'll call this a Phantom Fantasy, like with a PH, huh? How about that? Should we talk more about, I don't know, Jack's past and Maddie's past, or maybe Danny's future, Sam's future, Tucker's future? Maybe we can talk about Amity Park's future. What do you guys think? Let me know some of the possibilities, because I really want to start exploring this stuff. I think it'd be really, really cool. All right, this has been Butch Hartman from the Ghost Zone, and you know, pretty fun. I love doing stuff like this, so let me know what you guys think. All right, I'm going to fade away now, but until I do, don't forget that art gives you power. Use it wisely. Hey Heart fans, subscribe here to keep up with me, Danny, Timmy, Dudley, Bunsen.
Click here to check out my other YouTube channel, the NOOG Network.
Click over here to watch my most recent video, and here to start a playlist related to this video. Whoa, check out that awesome fan art. To be featured here, use hashtag HeartFanArt and tag me. I'm on every social media platform known to man. Cartoon Butch out. Pencil drop.